just showing another example real quick. I just want to for everybody else of maybe what's to come in this country, because in America here, yes, there are restrictions depending on where you're at. Thankfully, it is at least decentralized enough, not enough, but you get what I'm saying, enough to where you can be in certain areas and the restrictions are felt more or less depending on where you're at. California versus and New York versus the Texas and the Floridas of the world are different spots. However, there is this effort by way of these governments, including the state and local governments, that are really trying to fuck people up in terms of or over rather when it comes to the vaccine. And what I mean by that is that, again, it's about the inconvenience. It's about making people feel as if they must get the vaccine, and in the event that they don't get it, then something is disastrously wrong with them. So they must get it. And you have, and more so, I guess it's more of the inconvenience that if you don't get it, well, you can't do what it is that you were doing before. So it's like, well, no, it's not a mandate. We're not forcing you to get it, but we're just making it very fucking hard for you to live. One of those countries that has it way worse than what we have it out here in the States is France. And there's a lot of French folk that's covered right here. We're going to kind of read through by way of Mises.org, who is, and I need to start covering a lot of their stuff because they bring up some great topics. It's one of the best places to get a lot of libertarian information as well. Let's just read it real quick and what the article covers. In a speech to the nation just ahead of, I'm going to butcher every single French name or French slogan or statement in here because I don't speak fucking French. Bastille Day, on July 4th, celebrating the French Revolution, President Emmanuel Macron delivered paradoxical blow to Republic's famous slogan, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité. I think that's how you say that. I don't know. He announced a series of measures to speed up the pace of COVID-19 vaccinations which undermine individual liberties and threaten a strong political and economic backlash. Already during the COVID-19 pandemic, the French had to cope with some of the most severe lockdowns in the world, which curtail both economic freedom and the importance of civil liberties. So what's going on? Government pretense to superior knowledge. I love how the writer, which is, again, someone's name I'm going to butcher, is Mihai Makove. And he says, invoking a surge of infections of the COVID-19 Delta variant, Macron urged French citizens to get vaccinated in order to achieve 100% vaccination rate across the country. The fact that they're even pushing for that is unbelievable, but believable. Vaccination was made compulsory for all healthcare workers after September 15th. And proof of vaccination or a negative test in the form of health pass, which is basically vaccine passport, if you will need to be shown to everyone who wants to go to a fucking cafe. Hold on. Sorry, just pushed that button on accident. But go to a cafe. It says a restaurant, a shopping mall, and cultural places like cinemas, theaters, or concert halls, or in order to board a train or a fucking plane. So think about that and what all that embodies. And this is what we're talking about making your life so inconvenient. This is a papers, please. This is basically what we're dealing with type of situation where you can't go fucking basically any fucking where unless you're either having the jab or you have proof by them, of course, of a negative, let's say, test. And I'm pretty sure that part, the latter, will be removed at some point, and it'll just be, hey, where's the jab? You need to have proof of a jab before you fucking board a goddamn train or a plane, which is insane. In autumn, PCR tests will no longer be free of charge, and the new measures will apply also to 12 to 17-year-olds. So for right now, the state was stealing from people to pay for these mandatory tests. now you're going to pay out of pocket if you don't have, and these are the type of ways, the coercive ways that they're going to try to get you to get this jab is that, okay, we're going to make it very inconvenient and we're going to make it expensive for you. So if you do want to go to any of these places, you need to pay for the test. If you don't have the jab, if you have the jab, you're good to go. But if you don't, you're going to need to pay for the test, and it needs to come back negative if you want to go, I don't know, watch a fucking movie. Although Macron claims the vaccination is not compulsory for the general public for now, he is de facto obliging everyone who wants to live a normal life to take the shot. A few hours after the announcement, close to 1 million people rushed to book jabs, and a few hundreds of thousands more followed the next day. So you had the stragglers. You said, hey, we're making your job a living hell if you don't get it. And this is what happened. A lot of people lined up, said, fuck it, I guess we're going to go get jabbed up. See, this is what they're going to do. And what they've done, we've already seen examples of this all around the world. Unfortunately, just when we think, I know it's easy to be in our bubble when we're in America and we think we got it hard. There's a lot of people, a lot of other places around the world, especially out there in Europe, who are dealing with a lot of BS. And this is kind of, I guess, what you can maybe expect here if you don't hold the line. Is just that. It's, hey, we're going to make your life a fucking living hell unless you get it. Sure, it's not compulsory. We're not forcing you to get the vaccine. We're just going to have to require you to we're going to make it basically very expensive. We're going to make it very basically inconvenient. So effectively, it basically is the same, but it's not. You know, so that's more so what they're going to try to do is these more coercive, extortive ways to get you to get the jab, as opposed to just requiring you just out blatant saying basically it is illegal to be unvaccinated. I told y'all that wasn't necessarily what they're going to do. Now, it'll maybe happen in Europe if they do go to straight compulsory mandatory vaccinations as opposed to America. But I think on the horizon and things, you're going to see what you're already kind of seeing, stuff like this, where definitely this shows you right now the dangers of the state subsidized institutions and industries. Those are going to be the first ones to fall. Those are going to be the first ones that, well, you want this government contract, do you? You want this government money, do you? Well, you need to require that your employees get the vaccine, that type of stuff. And now you are seeing, if you didn't before, the dangers of why libertarians like myself are so against state-funded and operated industries, including and especially the ones that you deem are either necessary or required or more favorable. Instead of being left to private hands, they need to be left to state hands. This is what you get. Well, they basically, these people are so dependent on a lot of this money, this funding, that they're holding this in front of you saying you need to do this. And now effectively you have so many different industries who are going to require their people. Not saying that all of them, there'll be just some private scared actors that'll do the same, but especially coming from those government funded ones, they're going to be requiring, basically tying money to this jab expected. You just watched a clip from our podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.